RT is reporting a heartbreaking and bizarre story. There's a priest in Long Island, New York, who was arrested for smoking crack. Now, that may sound funny now. I mean, I'll admit that I laughed the first time I read that, but the reason why he was actually doing it will make you feel sympathy. So here's what they say. Father Robert Lubrano was spotted by police exchanging money in a motel parking lot in Bethpage, Long Island. When police followed the 63-year-old Catholic priest to his room, they discovered 800 milligrams of crack, as well as a metal pipe stained with cocaine residue. Quote, "I have been smoking crack cocaine ever since my sister was murdered," Lubrano told police. In October 2014, Lubrano's sister, Patricia Ward, was beheaded by her son, Derek, who had a history of psychiatric problems. After decapitating her, the 35-year-old carried the body onto the street and kicked around his dead mother's head in what neighbors thought was a Halloween hoax. Oh, goodness. Quote, "He killed my sister because we couldn't get the prescriptions he needed. For 4 days, he didn't have his meds," Lubrano said. So what did authorities do? Well, they charged the priest with drug possession anyway. Come on, man. Come on. Stop it. So this guy is clearly a victim. He's not a criminal. Did you hear his story? Like, it drives me crazy. There's this thing called prosecutorial discretion. Fucking use it. All right, pricks? Here's a guy who's like, yeah, no, my relative of mine is crazy, beheaded my sister, played soccer with the head in the street. I'm a little off my rocker now because that kind of scarred me. So yeah, I do some drugs to feel a little better. Well, that interesting story. Now we're going to fucking lock you up. No, this is how he's coping. We're going to punish him for an obvious psychological coping mechanism. And there's another angle to this too, which is depressing, and people are going to get mad that I say it, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's true. Apparently, crack cocaine gave him more comfort than religion. I don't know any other way to analyze that. I mean, he's a very religious person, and when the going got tough, it wasn't prayer, or it wasn't just prayer, that would get him through. He was like, I'm gonna hit the pipe, son. And I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not endorsing in any way, shape, or form doing hard drugs if something bad happens. But the reality is, when the shit hits the fan, the real way to cope and the real way to get over tragedy and trauma is to have a good support system of friends and family and have hobbies that you can fully immerse yourself in and stuff like that. But yes, the occasional substance helps. You know, we've all been there for whatever reason, a death in the family or a messy breakup or whatever. And then what's one of the things that you end up doing? Go have a few beers with your friends or something akin to that. Smoke a little weed and watch TV with people who you know and love and respect and, you know, you have a connection to. It's all normal, but what we're doing is we're taking a drastic, sad situation and we're compounding it and we're doing punishment on top of punishment. Don't you think it was enough punishment that this guy's fucking sister is dead? Don't you think he has enough problems and guilt and he's in enough psychological turmoil? But now you're going to have to fucking pour it on top and say, no, because you did that, I'm going to have to lock you up. Stop the drug war, end the drug war, legalize, tax, and regulate all drugs. Let's stop with this nonsense. And the reality is, guys, it's not just him that I have sympathy for. I look at all people who are genuine addicts and have a problem, and I feel for them, and I want to get them help. I want to view it as a medical problem. So I often reference Dr. Carl Hart said in one of his TED Talks that 80 to 90% of all drug users are moderate users who can function in everyday life and everything's cool, and it is what it is. It's like people who have a few beers tonight. It just is what it is. There's no problem with it. But that 10 or 20%, let's get them help. The last thing we should do is lock them up. And in this case, it's just extra clear that locking them up is the wrong way to go, but they did it.